it's Ethan from Minimally Grounded here with another barefoot shoe review. The end of summer is quickly approaching here in the Northeast United States, but I have another pair of sandals that I want to share with you. Today we are having a look at the Groove Sandals from ZuZu Barefoot. Just a disclaimer, ZuZu Barefoot did send me both this pair of the Groove Sandals and the Brown Drift Sandals that I've already reviewed at no cost to me, but these are my own opinions that I'm sharing. Now I have these in the eucalyptus colorway, however, they have 3 different colorways on the website and then a lot of different lace options that you can mix and match. You can change out your laces at any point. They actually sent me a brown pair of laces as well that at some point I may swap over to. I personally really like this eucalyptus green color though. It's kind of a forest green, almost shaded a little bit toward a teal, but it's really nice and I feel like it goes with a lot of different colors. So these sandals are based on a Huarache or Huarache, depending on your pronunciation, style of sandal, where you have one single lace that's kind of laced throughout into 3 different contact points on the sole, and then you have a single buckle for adjustments. If you're not familiar with Huarache sandals, it may look very complex at first, but it is rather straightforward once you figure out how to make some of the adjustments. You can really dial it in exactly how you want. Tightness across the top of the foot in the toes area, tightness across the front of the ankle, and then tightness at the heel. You can adjust all of that just by essentially pulling laces from these different contact points and from the buckle. Now, I personally am not new to Huarache sandals. I've been wearing them in past years with another brand, but I have been putting in about the last month or so into these specifically for running and walking around town, wearing them out and about on quick errands and things. Before I share some of my personal thoughts, let's have a look at some of the features of these sandals. Again, we have the single lace and single buckle. This is a nice metal buckle. This is something that other brands tend to skimp out on a little bit and maybe go with plastic, but for ZuZu, we are looking at a nice metal buckle here. As you can see, I have cut and melted down this strap. It was probably a few more inches longer. So once you get it sized to your liking, there's instructions on how to cut that down and simply just take a lighter to melt it down. So we do have about a 10mm stack height. Let's see if we can get that in focus. This is not going to be their most minimal offering. They do have more minimal sandals. This is going to be the thickest offering that they have for the Huarache style sandals. So with that 10mm stack height, we are able to bend these up just fine. Plenty of flexibility to roll them up. They move with your foot great. No issue there with the thicker stack height than some of their more minimalist sandals. Now with these being a bit thicker, they're gonna have a bit more utility with it having kind of the deeper sole grooves. You can take these into different areas that maybe a more minimalist sandal, thinner sole, might not do so well. You can go over rocks with no problem. You can still have some decent ground feel here. The 10mm still allows for you to feel larger rocks and things through your shoes, but it is going to help protect your foot a bit more than a very thin sole. The other positive of a thicker sole like this, I personally think it looks better. So I have another pair of Huarache style sandals, and they're probably a 6mm stack height. I feel like I get a little bit more weird looks with the thinner sole than I do with the thicker sole. But ultimately, who cares about the weird looks, right? The footbed is a vegan leather, so it is a leather-like material. You can see that I've kind of worn these in a good bit already. You can maybe see my foot pattern here. They're starting to break in some. Now I will say this vegan leather material is a little bit more slippery than their canvas material. So the canvas material that you'll find on their drift sandals and some of their other more minimalist Huarache style sandals, I tend to like that canvas a little bit more. I thought I was going to like this leather a bit more, but it is just, you can kind of hear the sound there with how slippery it sounds. That's kind of how it feels on the feet a little bit. It has gotten better over time as it's broken in, not quite as slippery, but I tend to like that canvas a bit more. I thought the canvas would be a little rough on my feet, but ultimately it feels really nice and doesn't quite slip as much as these. So again, I have some experience with Huarache sandals, specifically thinner ones than these, and comparing these to another pair that I have, my first takeaway is how comfortable these laces are. So these laces are a bit softer than the laces that I have from another brand. Ultimately, I didn't feel nearly as much break-in period for these. Now there is still a little bit of pull on your big toe whenever you're first getting these broken in, but because they're pretty soft and malleable, ultimately I didn't get a ton of rub or anything, no blisters. Part of that may be because I've worn Huarache sandals in the past and already have built that up a bit, but ultimately these were much softer and easier to break in than the laces on my other pair of Huarache sandals. Now I do think that that comes with a trade-off. I feel like these I've had to adjust more often, maybe because of how soft the laces are, things are kind of stretching out. I've found that I've had to tighten these a few times because over time my foot would start sliding backwards and then get this kind of rash here because I've tripped over the toe and kind of scuffed this into the ground. So both of my left and right feet have these nice scuffs at the top now. Some character, not a huge deal, but I do believe that could be from how soft these laces are. They don't stay quite as tight. Fortunately, adjusting the laces is very simple. I suggest checking out the information that ZuZu gives. They have some great tutorials on their website that really walk you through how to set up your sandals for the first time. It is very important that you get these tight enough on your feet, not so tight that you're going to hurt your feet, but tight enough that they do get into the right position. If you're a runner, maybe take a few walks, get it adjusted before you try to run in them so that you're getting the best experience. That leads me perfectly into running with the Groove sandals. Now, I'm not much of a runner. I run here and there, maybe once or twice a week. I'll go for a little mile run in the summer. I have logged quite a few miles with these, and I am used to running with Huarache style sandals. Ultimately, these have been very comfortable for running. I forget that I'm wearing shoes or sandals at all. It feels like I'm running barefoot. But again, it is important that I have these adjusted correctly to get to that level. So as long as they're fitting on you right and you have them tight, you can run. You don't have to worry about losing them off your feet or anything like that. It feels really good to run in these sandals, especially if you're looking for something as close to barefoot as possible. Just a reminder that I have also reviewed the Drift sandals from ZuZu Barefoot. If you haven't seen that yet, I'm gonna link it right here for you. Go ahead and have a watch on that whenever you're done with this so that you can see the two different models that ZuZu offers. Overall, I've been very happy with these Groove sandals. I really enjoy running in them. They're very comfortable with that nice soft lace. Now the downsides, again, these soft laces tend to need to be adjusted a bit more than some other brands. So I am tightening these here and there. The footbed, it is soft and comfortable. It is a little bit slippery at times. Not really an issue when it gets wet. It's just kind of when it's dry, it actually feels a bit slippery. That slipperiness has gone away over time as they've broken in a bit, but it is something to be mindful of. I am also interested to see the long-term durability of this vegan leather, if it will stand the test of time. As always, just a reminder to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to grow this channel and get more opportunities to review more barefoot shoes. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them below. I'll do my best to answer whatever I can. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.